Hi guys, good morning. How are you doing? I just want to tell you that I missed you. I missed the way I called your name in the class. Yeah, just try and stay safe and eat healthy. Okay, in our social studies this morning, we're going to be looking at first villages. First villages. What is it talking about? Okay, but first let's go to the objectives. Now, what are our objectives? There are identify the reasons for the formation of the first village ever and explore the progress of life in the first villages. And our textbook is our normal social studies book 4, page 100 to 103. And at the end of the lesson, there's going to be a lesson review on page 104. Okay. It can be difficult if people keep moving from one place to another. So people need to settle down. What do you mean by settling down? When they want to settle down, they need to look for something. Settle down means staying in a place to have their conveniency. So what are the things people need to settle down? What do they look for to settle down? The first thing they will need to settle down is food. They need food to settle down. They need shelter. They need laws. They need communication. Now, people need food. So they discovered planting and then they begin to farm. Discovered planting and people begin to farm. Because when they plant, they will produce food and they will be able to eat and feed their family. And the second one is shelter. Now, people build their shelters as houses where they can live in. They use logs, they use stones, they use clay to build houses. So coming up with laws, they had to follow rules. So they chose leaders because it's very difficult for people to live in a country or in a city without someone governing them. It is going to be a state of lawlessness. People get to do whatever they like, and that's not really good. So they had to choose leaders, and they choose leaders. Some choose by inheritance, like father to son. And some people, they believe in fighting for it. Like they will fight, they will have a contest, a battle, and the winner is going to be the one that will be as the leader. And sometimes as religious beliefs, like maybe in the Quran, whatever they choose for them to be the ruler, they get to take the person to be the leader. So coming to the last one, communication. Now, people need to communicate. They use clay tokens before. They need to use clay tokens before to explain to people, to describe to people. But now these people are using tally marks, like the one they use in statistics in math. They now use tally marks to explain to people, to count. So, referring to the same settling down, people in the past, they begin to form into tribes, like group of people, and later the tribes grew bigger and bigger, and people decide to settle down into villages. Now, the name of the first village people settled down is Jericho. Can I hear you echo Jericho? Yes, Jericho. Now, the second village is Chattel. The Chattel is in Turkey. Yes, people begin to settle down in Jericho, and before they can settle down, they have food, they have shelters, they have people that will govern them, and with communication, they are good to go. So like what we said earlier, they use food, they need food, lures, and from tribes, people begin to grow from few people to tribes to villages, and from villages they tend to make the first village, the Jericho. and the second one, Chattel. So when people settle down, they look for the best place to do so. Now, what is the best place to settle down? Places where they will have water, they will have food, they will have shelter. And where is the best place to do so? What might be the best place to do so? They have to settle down near rivers because it's good for their farming. It's good for their farming. So let's talk about the first village where people settle down. The first village is Jericho. Now, Jericho is the first people, their achievement. Jericho was the first village where people built mud, brick, and clay houses. They were able to build that, and they built high walls to protect themselves from enemies, like people invading their privacy. They tend to use mud, bricks, and clay houses. As you can see in the picture, you can see a tall building, like it's going to be round, and they build it to protect themselves. And let's talk about Chattel. Now, Chattel was the second village where people, they introduced the art of pottery. As you can see in the picture, you can see the making of the pottery, and they use clay, molding of clay, to make different shapes. They can make flower vases, decorations, so many things, and they use it also to build houses. They use it to build houses. So in our first villages, we talked about what people need before they settle down. They need food, they need shelter, they need lore, they need communication. And talking about settling down, people started forming into tribe, and later the tribe grew bigger, and they decided to settle down into what is called villages. And the first village is Jericho, and the second one is Chattel. Now they have achievements which we talked about. They build houses with clay, with bricks, with mud, and they build it for themselves to protect them from enemy. And Chattel was the second village that introduced the art of pottery. Okay, so we've come to the end of the lesson. There is a worksheet attached to there is a worksheet attached, and you need to answer the following question. I'm going to read the question to you, and you're going to answer. All right? Okay, number 1. It's talking about what will people need to settle down. All right? There are some things people need to settle down. You need to mention those things people need to settle down. And number 2 is, where is the best place to settle down? Where can people settle down? Is it on the tree? Is it near rivers or under the earth? You're gonna circle the answer. Now, number 3 is, you write the name of the first villages that people settled down. Number 1 and number 2. And the last one, question number 4, you write the achievement of the people of Jericho and Chattel. Now, Jericho and Chattel is already there. You write the achievement at which people made to settle down. Okay, guys, we have come to the end of the class. I hope to see you guys later. Thank you.